What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Angry Jackalope. It's Saturday. Oh, it's fucking leap year time, isn't it? February 29th, 2020. What's up, Backwards? What's up, Tinchy? What's up, Garen? What's up, motherfuckers? How you guys doing? So, the world done lost its shit. Simulcom. What's up, man? World's all freaking out. The apocalypse is upon us. And everybody is shitting kittens right now. Right now. What is this shit right here? This bubble tea giants hard. You're in the valley until Tuesday. First time flying a drone today. Oh, that's cool. So, I'm gonna put my phone on vibrate. There we go. That way, no interruptions. Let's see. What's up, Paula? What's up, Jay Watterson? What's up, Net Job with the machete? And I just realized a product to invest in. After my fail earlier today, I got the cut test done. You know, dude, it's not really a fail, right? It's like you're trying something, and if your first attempt isn't quite what you thought it was going to be, it is what it is. I remember one time I was trying to actually, you can say a really good epic fail with the Sharkalope. I tried to take the Sharkalope to a fucking elk leg with rope on it. So I found out you actually it doesn't move it moves a little too much. So yeah, it sucks. Let's see. I have an interview Monday. Oh, nut job. You have a interview with a different job. What's up, Bronx? You know. So, oh yeah, Simicon. That's a fucked up video. I took a really small Sharkalope, which is really more of a stabby stab, and I attempted to use that bitch like it was a really heavy blade, and I actually fucked it up. Not like fucked it up, but like I chinked it pretty bad. It's definitely hurt my soul. It was one of those moments where I was like, dude, what the fuck were you thinking? So, you live and learn. You try some shit, doesn't work, I remember with my first what's that sumbitch called? My first Spartan testing that I don't think I ever shared. I had done stuff like I tried to tie a coconut with rope. I wrapped paracord this way and this way, and then lashed it, tied it, without thinking, well, dude, you're gonna hit with a knife, you're gonna cut the rope, and then the rope on the back is gonna hold, but then the velocity takes the coconut back, and then it comes forward. Yeah, about gave myself a black eye with that one. I hit it, cut the rope, it went back, bungee shot right at me, and I just barely missed as the bits of coconut came back at me. It was pretty dumb, actually, but you live and learn. Like I did with my ball club review. Yeah, you learn the shit you shouldn't do, and sometimes it works out well, and sometimes it doesn't. I will share with you guys a couple of things here. My wife has been super sweet lately, and has been hold on a second, I gotta put this up just for a second. There it is. My wife's been really super sweet lately, and I've been getting these little gifts from her. I've been showing up in the mail, and I've been like, what the fuck is it? And so the very first one, not sure if I shared this with you guys or not, but it was a little Damascus blade that really pretty handles, and it's my only Damascus blade. And so I was kind of like, wow. It came with a leather sheath, and cool little knife, right? And a few days back, another little package shows up, and I'm thinking it's something she ordered or whatever. And then she hands it to me, and there's like this big giant bottle opener and kind of a little quill pen and a little notebook that you can write in, and also this puppy right here. You get it like this. Yeah, there we go. Oh no! Good thing that shit's made out of Gorilla Glass, huh? At least that's what they told me. Anyway, so it's like that. Pop her open. And this was a really funny thing. Like, I never knew about this. Let's see. How that little piece right there turns and then locks the blade in place. Like, I never knew about this shit. I've seen this forever and a day and had no desire, zero, to ever fuck with one of these. And I get one, and I'm like looking at the history of it and reading about it and seeing this little twisty deal here and feeling how grippy this is. And I was like, huh, I dig it. I dig it. Yeah, we all know you have a small package, Rob, in Steve's voice. Huh. Love me some Open L. Own 3 different ones myself. Yeah, I never would have fucked with one, to be honest with you. And so that was one of those things where wifey really shocked it, and I was like, what the hell? I mean, this thing is super light. I mean, super duper light. Like, almost, I mean, it kind of freaks me out, when I'm using it. It's like, I'm like, damn, there's like no weight here whatsoever, and it's like really ridiculously thin on the front, then on the back, but it's fucking stupid sharp, but it's also a fingerprint magnet. I was like, that just bugged me. I'm just like, no fingerprints. I hate fingerprints. Hate them. That's better. So yeah, it's a cool little blade. Cool fucking little blade. So anyway, I just thought I'd share with you guys, because first and foremost, most of you guys are fucking, knife fanatics, right? So, booyah. Yeah, it's got a cool edge on it. It's got a really cool edge on it. I really like it. So, let's segue into some world news stuff, and also some news kind of close here to home. So we all know about, there we go. Screen locks on me. I don't know why it does this from time to time. I haven't even said anything. All I said was world news. And then this bitch just freezes. There we go. And it's back. I don't know if that was frozen for you guys or if that was just frozen for me, but it's fucking retarded. I'm going to turn on the analytics, because the analytics will help me to see what's what. There we go. All right. Now I can see when the shit drops. That's funny. It said no drop frames, and yet some bitch done froze like that. That's pretty funny. That's weird. Anyway, WORLD news. I guess I'll start with the thing that most people are like freaking out right now. It's kind of funny to me. So everybody's freaking out over the Children of Volt 19, and I guess here in the States we've got 3 cases now that are not directly linked to the stuff happening in Pandaland. And there's no history of interaction with anybody, blah, blah, blah. They're just, unique cases that have popped up with no known origin, so unknown origin. So that was kind of interesting. So we got 3 now. So if we follow the logic, we follow this logic that there's 3 cases that they know about where they're novel, meaning they're not connected to sources that they would suspect. No overseas travel, nothing, right? Just, oh, I feel like dog shit and whatever. And they're like, oh shit, yeah, he's got it. So that's 1 person, 2 persons, 3 persons that have been reported where they don't know the connection. It's not in the same area. This is, 3 different spots in America. So the CDC has come out with some very ominous directives and news and things of that nature. And people are like, oh, shit. And I see all these people scrambling to get gear. And it is so blatantly obvious that they haven't done homework, research, anything just on the general topic. It's always so cute to see people try to prep when they think the emergency is upon them. And they start running around and buying all the crazy shit that they think is going to do something. But in reality, all it's doing is fattening other people's pockets. But I'm not sitting there freaking out. I do think it's interesting to see the cases expanding and growing by leaps and bounds, where the cases in Pandaland are kind of subsiding, slowing down a little bit. Let's see. So as of today, let's see what the numbers are today. As of 6:53 p.m., we have 86,960 total confirmed cases. Out of that, almost 87,000, we have almost 3,000 deaths and 42,000 recovered. So that is good. And if you look at the charts, what was going like this as far as new cases has now started to do this, and then the recovery is doing this. So, it's a. I hear an echo. Echo, really? Is there a beat playing near you? No. Nope, nothing on the mic. What's up, Yak? Are you guys hearing a... You guys are hearing an echo? That's funny. Because on my sound meter, it only happens when I'm talking. So in the US, we now have 70 cases. You heard a beat, huh? Texas has 1-1. Arizona's 1-1. These are like 1 infected, 1 recovered. San Diego is 2, 1 recovered, still 1 existing. Orange, 1. California, 1. Or LA, I should say, 1. San Benito, 1, 2. Santa Clara had 3. 2 still, 1 recovered. Sacramento 2-2. Humboldt County 1-1. Let's see. And what's funny is we actually have one sitting here in Utah, but it's funny because they have some that came off that boat. So the way the news is covering this shit is really suspect. Really suspect. Which one has a fatality? One fatality where? I haven't seen any fatalities yet. Let's see. Do we have a fatality? One recovered, two existing. One recovered, one existing. Confirmed existing, confirmed existing, confirmed existing. Yeah, I don't see any deaths yet. Tier 2, Boston. 1-1. Yeah, I don't see any deaths. Unless it was on a boat. Washington had one die? Really? Oh, you're right. Seattle, Washington. They got 6. 1 death, 1 recovered, 4 existing. Holy shit. So we have our first confirmed death. I have no information on that one. Oh, that's funny. Let's see. Sounds like your mic boom was dropping a little at a time. Well, that could be if this got unplugged. So let me check. Make sure everything's plugged in. Plugged in. Plugged in. Plugged in. Looks good. Looks good. Yeah, everything's plugged in. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll just be like this. Be up talking like this. So you guys can hear clear. Wow, 1 death. Okay, so we have... Oh, does it say it right there? It does. It says it right there on the right-hand side. Total recovered 7, 1 death, and 70 confirmed. So that's pretty funny because that's not quite... Let's see. So that would be 3%, wouldn't it? Because 10% would be 7. And then, yeah, that could be about, yeah, 3%. Well, hell. President said it was a woman. This makes noise too sometimes when it touches. Could have been. I could have been moving my leg. See if that makes noise. Are you guys hearing? Because I know my leg was moving. So anyway, the news is kind of stupid the way they do shit. So for example, here in Utah, there is okay, so it was my legs moving. Here in Utah, we have one case that's sitting over here in Intermountain Hospital. And at Intermountain Hospital, oh, not like this one, the stupid thing moving. At the Intermountain Hospital, there's one, but this was a person that they transported off of that Princess Cruise Line or whatever the fuck it was called. And I was like, okay, well, whatever, that's fine. But they had a lot of people going, oh shit, we have a case here in Utah. And I'm like, that's not really a case in Utah. That's a case that was on a cruise ship where they transported over to his home state to be monitored and chill out while he's recovering. So I don't know where the news suddenly decided to flip gears and go full fear porn, because these numbers aren't really super scary yet. Although I guess if you're in Italy or South Korea, you'd probably be freaking out just a little bit because, you know, it popped off. But I'm like, you know, whatever. It's funny. Whatever's going on in Italy is way worse than South Korea, because South Korea has 3,526 with 17 deaths. Italy has roughly a third, okay, has a third of the cases, 1,128, but they've got 29 deaths. So South Korea has 3,517 deaths. Italy has 1,128 and almost 30. Wow. Let's see what's going on with Iran. Iran has 593. Holy fuck. Iran has... Jesus. Iran almost has a 10% fatality rate. 593 with 43 deaths. Now, granted, the medical care could be substantially different between Italy and Iran and South Korea. But what's funny is South Korea has 3,526 with 17 deaths. Iran has 593. Fuck. Like 1/7. 1/7. But Iran has fucking 4 times the number of dead. Wow. So Japan has 241, 5 deaths. Singapore has 102, no deaths. France has 100 with 2 deaths. Hong Kong is 95 with 2 deaths. Germany, no deaths. US, 1. Kuwait, none. Spain, Thailand. Taiwan has 39 and 1 dead. None in Australia. None in the UK. No deaths in Canada. Vietnam, none. So yeah, South Korea 17, Italy 29, others, which is kind of the boat and everything else. Oh, Diamond Princess cruise ship has 705 infected, 4 deaths. But that one in Iran, holy shit, fuck. 593, 43 deaths already. Whoa. Whoa. Damn, Gina. Okay. All right, so moving on. Because I'm not going to kick a fucking... Maybe this is bad. Maybe that was a bad expression, kicking it. You would just leave it at that. So, on to some fun stuff. So, Altered Carbon Season 2 has launched 2 days ago. The day it launched, I stayed up all night binging. Yak says, Rocket Man said there'd be dire consequences if the virus gets bad in North Korea. Okay. Dire consequences for them because they got shit medicine, or... somebody else. So Altered Carbon, man, wow, it was really good. It was really, really good. It had a lot less sex than season 1 had, and it had a lot less blades, really, than season 1, although they did have, knives in it and stuff. And I recognized one real quick. Hang on. So this blade showed up in there. If you're eagle-eyed and you're watching, the CRKT deviation was in there. And right when it was there, good night, Tenchi. Right when it was there, I was like, I know that fucking blade. So I was like, all right. But I didn't see any Topps blade this time around, although I did see quite a few KSGs, new gen, and some other guns that looked pretty familiar. But yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It was like there was no dead episodes. It was just like this. And done. And it was good. Me and my wife were like, oh, fuck. Okay, one more. Okay, one more. Okay, one more. Holy shit, it's the last episode. What time is it? I don't know. It was like fucking 4 or something in the morning. All right, fuck it. It was good. It was good. Really, really, really enjoyed it. So, if you haven't watched Altered Carbon Season 1, you might want to go back and catch up and check that out. Borderlands 3. So they just did their PAX East, I think, announcement. And I was like, fuck, are you serious? But anyway, The next DLC will be the marriage of Hammerlock and what is his name? The new leader of Jacobs. And I was like, oh man, you gotta make a gay wedding, really? Are we gonna push this shit even here? Like, I didn't really mind that they were gay in the game. I was like, whatever, who cares? And even in Altered Carbon 2, there's some gay characters. If you're familiar with Luke Cage, Misty Knight, the gal that plays Misty Knight, she's a pretty badass character in Altered Carbon, and she's married to a chick, and I was just like, fuck, whatever. And their relationship wasn't so disgustingly like they treated it the way you would expect any relationship to be treated. So I wasn't really tripping on that. And then Borderlands with the marriage of Hammerlock and whatever his face is. I was kind of like, really? But then I was like, well, fuck. That's the world we live in now. It's like the gay agenda is going to be pushed and crammed down everybody's throat on every avenue of entertainment there is. And, hey, what's up, Dixon? It's like, I was telling my wife earlier, I said, I really don't care if you're gay. I really just don't want to know about it. And, to push an agenda, that's where I start to get kind of irritated. Like, if you're gay and you want to get married, knock yourself out. If you want to deal with the bullshit of relationships and you want to, you're getting married and you want to have property rights and you're in a dedicated relationship, I think you should have it. You want to have benefits because, it's better if somebody is working a good job and they've got good benefits and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I think they should have that. Property rights, all of the whole 9 yards. But it really shouldn't be this big fucking deal that it's always turning out to be. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm just getting real tired of every single fucking thing I see. There's always some gay slant to it. I'm like, okay, I get it. But there's some shows do it really well. Like Altered Carbon really didn't bug me too much. I was kind of like, okay, whatever. Go, Misty, handle your business. But there's this other Netflix show. What was it called? Oh, October something. October Faction. Oh my fucking hell. I was just like, I can't deal with this shit. It's just so over the top. You know what I mean? It's like, okay. It's like, I'm sitting there watching going, all right. And there's been some shows where there's been like really, really gratuitous use of sex, right? And I'm like, okay. And even when it's like, straight sex, like if it's, if it's porn, you're like, okay, fine, it's porn. But if it's like an action movie and you're watching an action movie and suddenly there's like a hardcore sex scene in it, you're kind of like, wow, wasn't expecting that. I was expecting a bunch of bodies and blah, blah, blah. And, there's pretty hardcore sex going on here. And I remember having a debate and arguing with somebody about why is it that sex gets you a really bad rating and blah, 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 when it's the most natural thing there is. And then you have a movie filled with like really graphic kills, right? And that's not really freaked out upon, right? Like, oh yeah, blew his fucking brains out, no big deal. And let's see, in the TV series too. What did I miss here? Oh yeah, they're Backwoods is right. They're pushing gay characters, not even just in the DC comics. They're pushing it also in the on the Marvel side. I'm all for representing different groups, and I think America is a really good. How do I phrase this? America will be stronger when everybody is equally represented. Okay. But I have a problem with the gay agenda because what we're talking about here is somebody's sexual preference, right? It's what they're drawn to sexually. And in my humble opinion, your sexual preference should be between you and your partner. It shouldn't be broadcasted to the whole fucking world. And here's a perfect example. There are shirts that you can find that say gays do it better. And things along that line. And I'm like, okay, that's fucking retarded. Right? Let's see, we would turn in the movie back on. I should have brought the charger. Okay. All right. Later, Vixen. Hope you're feeling good. All right, Backwoods. Later, brother. Like I don't walk around with a shirt that says, straights do it better or anything else. And so it's like kind of one of those things where, keep your preference to yourself and keep it private and keep it classy. That's all I'm saying, But for whatever reason, there's this agenda. So anyway, Altered Carbon was great. It was really, really good. Then what else have we been? We've been slowly but surely just chipping away at the Blacklist, and that has been very, very good. We're in season 5, about halfway through, and it is really, really good. I really enjoy it. If you guys are not familiar with the Blacklist, it's a pretty good show. What's up, JC? What's up, Stevie G? Oh no, we were just talking about how in like games and stuff like that, sexual orientation just keeps popping up, and I'm like, why? I don't give a fuck. I don't really want to know. I don't really care. It's not a big deal, but people keep making these big fucking deals over this shit, and it's like, come on now, let's just move past. Like, they'll say, oh, DC Comics has their first, all gay superhero team. Whoop-de-fucking do. Like, do superheroes really roll around saying, hey, I'm gay man and I use my gaydar to do... It's like, no, that's retarded. That's dumb. Like, there's niche comics that have been doing that shit forever and a day. And they're celebrated in those communities, and great. Knock yourself out. When you see these mainstream things doing it, what they're doing is they think they're opening it up to a untapped market. But that market is not mainstream, right? And what they're doing is they're alienating the mainstream. It's like, okay, if there's a show and there's a gay character in it, which now it seems like obligatorily they have to have at least one gay character. But let's just say that they have the one gay character. Okay, and they have the straight characters. Okay. Now, I understand a gay person watching straight people make out is probably really gross to them because it's not their cup of tea, right? The same as me watching two dudes make out. It's not my cup of tea. I don't really want to see it. But, the problem is when you're making a show that's mainstream, meaning that 80 to 90% of the people watching that show are straight, there's only going to be so much dude on dude, chick on chick action that they're going to, stomach. They're going to be like, all right, fuck this show. I'm not going to watch this because, it's not for me. And I did that with Black Lightning. When I found out like even Batwoman. And I think that chick Ruby she's pretty fucking perfect for the character. But I haven't watched it because I'm like, I read the synopsis and I was kind of like, we're in yet another show pushing a gay agenda. And I'm just kind of like, I can't, my time is precious and I'm not going to sit and watch something that I'm like, okay, well, whatever, you know. If like on Altered Carbon, one of the characters happens to be gay, or even in The Expanse, the chick that was Julia in I think she was anyway in Lost, or she was the chick in Defiance, I think. Um, she was gay and married and had a kid and blah blah blah, and I didn't really care, and it was treated in such a way that it wasn't so agenda-ish. Like, there's some things you watch and you're kind of like, okay, they're pushing a fucking agenda here. And then you watch other stuff and you're like, they're still pushing agenda, but it's not like beating me over the head with it. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Some of the stuff I just kind of look at and go, are you serious? So, I was a little disheartened when I saw the expansion for the DLC for Borderlands 3. And I was like, fuck, whatever. Wayne Hart? I forgot his name. Anyway, he's the guy that runs Jacobs. Him and Hammerlock. And it was funny because my daughter goes, I didn't know Hammerlock was gay. And I go, the motherfucker yells, tally ho. I was just joking. But I was kind of like, whatever. I was like, whatever. But they did announce that they did do some buffs on some of the gear in Borderlands 3 that was garbage, like the what was it, the wood blocker, or wood block. That sniper rifle was garbage, and then the lab, or the lob, that gun was shit. Now it's actually pretty good. And Star Helix, that was a big gun for me. Like, that gun was based on The Expanse, so I was super excited to get it and play with it, and it sucked. And I was like, oh, that sucks. Well, I guess I won't ever use this gun. And then they came and they buffed all of those really shitty guns, and I was like, hey, you guys single-handedly put life back into the game with certain guns. So that was kind of cool. Me and my wife been playing a little bit. She's got her character up to 53, which is max. I got mine to 53 is max. We're doing in-game content, and it's fun. We're enjoying ourselves. So, I think it'll be interesting to see the marriage of Hammerlock, and play through that. And, hopefully they'll do it with enough humor and everything else where it won't be that big of a deal. So, moving right along. There are other games, too, that have some stuff coming out. One game that my kid seems super excited about, and my wife also, is Animal Crossing on the Switch. They have been playing Animal Crossing forever and a day. So I know that's popping off next month here, and so she's like, she and the kids are like super excited about it. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So yeah. So anyway, the other thing I was going to tell you guys about, I was debating. I was like, I don't know if I really want to talk about it, but it has been weighing on me, and it's not world news or anything else. It just there's been a series of events that have happened in the last, since November, I guess. No, October last year. So I have this weird thing that what is this? Rob, have you ever heard of a band named Breaking Benjamin? Yes, I have. What's up, Wolf Wolf? Let's see. I haven't played Borderlands 3 yet, but we'll be picking up the Division 2. Ooh, nice, Paul. Let's see. Yeah, it's funny, Nutjob. I kept a lot of those guns in my thing in the bank, and have been using those. So, but October I started getting real dizzy, and there was a couple of times where because of the balance issues getting kind of weird, I fell down a couple of times. But I one time I was with my daughter. I rolled my ankle, started to fall, jumped into a somersault, rolled, landed, was in a kind of kneeling position, and then I was like, "Hey, give me your arm, help me get up," and I stood up. But that was because I discovered the inner ear is not doing its job, so my eyes are really the things that keep me balanced. And I've been going to physical therapy and relearning how to walk and all this other stuff. So that stuff's been really kind of funky, and I've been plagued with just a shit ton of headaches. And I found out I've been having these things called super migraines that have been affecting my vision. Not with what I can see, but more my depth perception, like far away reading small text. And the super migraines anyway. Those don't usually hurt. It's kind of a weird thing, but it is what it is. So I've had that stuff going on for a little while, and then the funny thing was, I had a really weird call the other night, or the other day, I should say, which kind of has been throwing me for a loop. And I guess I'll share it with you guys just because, fuck it, why not, right? So I had a call from a private investigator who was asking me if I knew a Melvin Ricks, who is my stepdad. Some of you longtime viewers may know the story behind my dad. Some of you may not, but there's a bunch of story times talking about my dad and stuff growing up with him. To me, my dad was like Superman, larger than life. Just a lot of my mannerisms, a lot of my boisterous nature and stuff are directly patterned from my dad. Like, to me, my stepdad was the model of what a man was supposed to be. And it was unfortunate that drugs and whatever, and alcohol, I guess, affected him so adversely that he couldn't live up to the ideology and the lofty code that he instilled in me. So I was a little surprised when a private investigator calls me up and asks me if I know Melvin Ricks. So I had to quantify. I said, "Is he black?" And the guy's like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Well, you kind of need to know, because there are some other Melvin Rickses out there that are white." But I said, "Okay, what about the age?" So he told me the age, told me the birthday. I said, "Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about the you got the right person. So yes, that is my stepfather. What can I do for you?" He goes, "Are you a blood relative?" I said, "No, I am not. Like I said, that's my stepdad." And he said, "Well, I work for the hospital. I'm a private investigator, and a hospital hired me to try to find blood relatives of Melvin Ricks." I said, "Well, why is that?" He said, "Well, because if they're in ICU or they're in some kind of critical care or something else, they want to find blood relatives." And I was kind of thinking, well, I wonder why they're not saying next of kin, next of kin, next of kin. You know what I mean? Next of kin. Sound like I was saying Mexican for a second. So I was like, no. And he goes, "What about his son, Anthony?" I said, "He is out of circulation and not reachable at this time." And so, we started talking a little bit. And long story short, I gave him some information. He gave me some back, and then he got the phone with me pretty quick. And I was thinking to myself, holy shit. And the funny thing is, the only reason I bring this up is because I think it's relevant to the whole perception and our whole way of processing the world around us. And there's a lot of synchronicity to talking about memories and stuff like that. Because after the call, I started racking my brain, analyzing all the memories I had of my dad. Because, this guy was alluding, he didn't come straight out and say it, but he was alluding to the fact that either A, my dad, my stepdad, I call him my dad because even though he's not my biological father, my love for him and my feelings toward him were always he was my father. And my biological father, I had no relationship with whatsoever and was just completely brokenhearted with him for the bullshit I went through with him, that I was like, yeah, fuck him. He was just a sperm donor. My actual father was male. Anyway, I was racking my brains and then it occurred to me that I know next to nothing about both of them, really. I know a lot more about my stepdad than my biological father, but there are important things about my biological father that I'm like, holy shit, such as I have no idea what his political leanings were, what his religious preference was. I don't know his favorite fucking color. I would assume, and this is only based off of a single story, that his alcoholic drink of choice was just straight up vodka, just pure vodka. But I couldn't tell you for sure. I don't know the situation with his father. I don't know brothers, sisters, be my aunts and uncles. I have no idea. None of them. I have no idea about none of that shit. So I was like, And then I was torn because I was like, damn, do I tell my mom? Because a little backstory is my dad was addicted to drugs pretty bad, and he fucked my mom over and left her holding the bag on a whole lot of bills. And he took a lot of money and shit from her and then just disappeared. So understandably, my mom probably would not want to hear anything about my dad, which always puts me in a awkward position because I have software available to me for me to do background checks and things of that nature, and I did one on him, and I had a lot of information, phone numbers, physical addresses, things of that nature. And there was a part of me I wanted to call just to see if he really was in the hospital. So my wife comes in and she's worried about me, and she's like, hey, are you good? I'm like, I don't really know. I really don't know. I mean, I don't know if this bullshit or if he's really dying or whatever. And if he was, shit, it's not like I can go run over to Atlanta, Georgia, where he's at. So I can't drop everything and run over there for somebody who left the family over 25 years ago. So anyway, it's been a really weird few days here, just because memories and what we think we remember. Like, I went back and I wrote down every memory I have of my father, and I looked at it, and I can tell you 45 to 50% of the memories are around violence. Not necessarily towards me, but just martial art training, punishments. Oh, you got beat up by this kid. Go hunt that kid down, or I'm gonna beat your ass. Oh, that wasn't one time. That was 1, 2, 3 times. And then it just. And I was telling my wife, I said, shit. There's a lot of violence that I grew up around. Nothing towards my mom or anything else, but just towards other people, And anyway, it's just kind of a weird few days for me, because I'd go to sleep And in my mind, because I got a crazy imagination, my mind just starts concocting all of these crazy fucking stories. And it's funny because even in Blacklist or some other show, they were sitting there talking about memories, how memories are not linear movies that you can pull up and look at, but they're actually reconstructions of things that you're putting together at the time of you trying to recollect. So that memories are not accurate. And so it's funny, here I am looking back at my whole entire childhood all the way up through my early adult, and I'm like, fuck, how much of these memories can I trust? And I was like, damn, I don't know. So anyway, how is this relevant to all of the stuff going on right now in the world? Well, one, people's memories are pretty short, it seems, and people don't remember when there was the swine flu and when there was, the avian flu and when there was this, that, or anything else. And people are really panicking over this. And this does have a potential to be something else. But at the same time, looking at the number of deaths, comparatively speaking, between the regular flu and this, this hasn't passed a threshold to be terrifying. This has, right now, it has my attention. And so I am cautiously watching it. And as I said for the last, I don't know, 4 fucking episodes, 4 shows, you really shouldn't wait to the last minute. And this could be getting close to the last minute as far as your ability to get your hands on gear that you may need. So anyway, I would highly recommend that everybody go do an inventory of their gear and whatnot. Make sure you understand it. Make sure you have extra above and beyond what you think you need. Make sure you have more. And kind of think it through. Role play it out a little bit. Because, like I said, I'm not freaking out yet. But there is enough going on. I mean, I've been talking for a while now about other things that I am concerned about, like stock market, business, infrastructure, supply chains, things of that nature. And you can see, like, the Canadian guy. Oh man, I forgot his damn name right now. He's been putting out some really good content. So his stuff is really worthwhile watching. And I think people should just start really pumping their brakes a little bit on some of the fear stuff. And also, if you're a younger person and you're watching this, I don't know why, but if you're a younger person, Canadian Prepper, thank you, that job. If you're a younger person, I would highly recommend you keep a journal and you jot down imperative, important notes. And my advice to you is not just to write a bulleted list or a summary of the events, but also kind of write the emotional context of what's going on at that moment, because that's going to help you kind of solidify things later. Because there's a lot of holes in my memory. Like, there's things that I tell my wife, she got like the memory of an elephant, I swear to God. But I'll tell my wife, hey, I don't know this. I don't know that. She goes, well, when I first met you, you told me this. So, fuck, I did know some things, but I don't know them now. And she's like, well, if you don't use it, you lose it, right? And I'm like, I guess. So I wonder, it almost sounds like our brains are like hard drives, right? Your hard drive starts getting filled up and you start grabbing shitty songs that you don't like and deleting those out. And, because it's funny, I still remember a lot of lyrics to a lot of songs and things of that nature. And you start wondering, how much can you actually remember, right? So anyway, I just think all the craziness stuff going on right now, At some point, somebody else is going to ask us about this stuff and say, hey, what was going on at the time? How did you feel? Well, some of the stuff we will remember, right? There's certain things, certain events, like 9/11, for example, that get kind of entrenched in your head, and you just, no matter what, you can't forget it. But there's a vast majority of other stuff where we have hazy recollections of certain things, and a lot of times they're a combination of, like, I do this all the time. Like, I'll think I remember something, but it's actually a fragmented of 3 different events that have been recombined, and so now I've got this mutated Hydra uh, recollection of something that was 3 similar events, but it's not correct. Apologies, I don't mean to yawn. I've been, like I said, I've been sleeping shitty lately. I've been sleeping, and then at 3:33 on the dot, fucking waking up, just exhausted, just tired. And I think some of it is just emotional things about my dad that I never really came to grips with or terms with, and I never had a chance to say anything to him about how I felt, how the whole thing went down, 25 plus years ago. And there's a part of me that's like, well, fuck, if he dies, I'll never be able to have that closure. And that's another thing too. Closure. Some people will dismiss that and say closure is not important. I would argue and say that closure is actually very important. Even if it's just to take, like, if he's dying right now, the last thing I'd want him to think as he's dying is that I hate him. Because I don't fucking hate him. I was very disappointed and angry with him, but I don't hate him. I felt really bad for him. And so I would hope, if he's dying, that, if I could tell him, I ain't mad at you, and I love you, and I forgive you, and, and that's even if he feels remorse. I don't even know. So anyway, would a Mini 14 be good in the shit hit the fan? Well, I'll put it to you like this. In a shit hit the fan situation, everything is important. Everything is important, right? So, nut job, I was able to get some closure with Dad. It is important, and I am number one to, and I don't give a shit if anyone thinks anything weird of me, but, like, I have daddy issues. I have huge daddy issues, and it's something that I'm working through. But if the person's not there, then it's kind of hard to work through it. It's just one-sided thing, right? But anyway, I just felt I'd share it with you guys because somebody is going to hear this and go, fuck, I better take care of this shit while I can. Even if it's just to say, you know what, I'm really angry with you, blah, 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 whatever. But to be able to say what you want to say and then have peace with it. Like, I have closure with my biological father. Like, I had a lunch or something with him, and I asked him a bunch of questions. I had a conversation with him, and I was able to look him in the eyes and tell him. And yeah, I bawled my fucking eyes out, and it was an emotional, crazy thing. I think it was a few times my wife's ever really seen me cry. And I walked away from that situation, and I told my wife, I said, you know what? That's good. I'm done. I have nothing else I need to say to him or anything else. And, a few years later, he died. And I was like, that sucks. And I was really mad that his wife gave him such a bullshit, funeral announcement or whatever, obituary thing. And, but I don't sit and trip on that. You know what I mean? Woof woof, I never knew my father and was raised by my mom. Never had the urge to reach out. Yeah, it's if that's true, if that's how you really feel, then that's great. You know what I mean? But my stepfather raised me, and like I said, he instilled a lot of who I am by his actions. So, um, Stevie Stevie G says, "I'm gonna die soon, but I forgive no one, not my real dad or anyone." It's fine. I didn't say you have to forgive anybody. I don't say you have to do shit. All I'm saying is make peace in your mind, in your heart, with what matters to you. If it doesn't matter to you, bro, and they're pieces of shit to you, then fuck them. They're pieces of shit. That's, I don't judge any of you. I don't care how you guys live your life, do what you do. I'm just saying, make sure if something is important to you that you handle it while you have time. I think that's the clearest, most succinct way I can put it. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, when they're gone, they're gone. That's my point. If you got something you want to say it while you can. Let's see here. Paul said, I haven't seen or heard from my mother for about 20 years. I've made peace with it. Yeah. Like I said, I hadn't talked to my dad in like 25 fucking years. So when this dude hits me up, I'm kind of like, what the fuck? And the guy's like, yeah, man, I'm sorry I brought up, bad memories or whatever. And I was like, fuck, you're just doing your job, man. You know what I mean? We'll often wonder how that affects how I'm raising my kids. I wonder how that affects how I'm raising my kids. Well, I'll tell you something, and we're going to have to end this pretty soon, but I'll tell you this. Woof, woof. There is no right or wrong way for us to raise our children, because what one does for one doesn't work for the other and never works for the third, right? So it's like, as parents, the only thing we can do, the most important thing we can do, is be there for our kids, let them know we love them, back it up with our actions, and hope for the best, because there's no guarantees on nothing. You know what I'm saying? Stevie said I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry if I misconstrued or anything. When I read a chat, there's interpretation, there's lack of it's not emotions not conveyed, tones not conveyed, etc., etc. So a lot of times I misconstrued the chat. So if I say something off, don't take it the wrong way. It's just I may have misunderstood what you were saying. Let's see. From my perspective, I place more emphasis on family values. Yeah, family values I think is important, instilling right and wrong and things of that nature. But Stevie says, and I'll be gone first anyway. Yeah, that sucks, dude. I don't like hearing that. I worry about you, and I worry about a few other folks, and it is kind of freaks me out a little bit. I don't really look forward to that. I hope you'll be here for a while longer. Let's see. Chancellor says, authoritarian mothers are the bane of society. A single father raising a child is 95% better than a two-parent family. Yes and no. I think it's important to have a mother and a father so that the dynamic of relationships can be witnessed, as well as learning, right and wrong, having two sides of the equation. It doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. One side usually the nurturing, and one side usually more of the dominant punishment or whatever. At least that's what I've seen, and I think a single father raising a son, sure. A single father raising a daughter, I don't know. I think a man needs a man and a woman needs a woman. just because we're so fucking different. Men are so different than women and vice versa, right? Anyway, I didn't mean to get this into a weird headspace with you guys. It's just a lot of times when I have something on my mind or something that's really bugging me or whatever, I kind of like to talk it out and vent it a little bit. And I talked a little bit with my wife, a little bit with my kids and stuff, and I was still kind of working through it. So I just brought it up to share with you guys to talk about. But we are past the hour, and I promised my kids that I'd play some games with them, some board games and whatnot. And I think I might even record some of that, and it would be fun to be able to laugh a little bit with my kids and have a good time. Because, like I said, it's been a weird few days for me. But tomorrow will be the real-time story time, 7 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, on the Robert R. Ricks channel. So if you guys come tomorrow, I do appreciate it. Hopefully we'll have a fun, creative, crazy time. But for now, we're done. So if you like it, please subscribe. Tell your friends far and wide. Until next time, motherfuckers, please be good to yourself, good to each other. Go out and live life to the fullest. Get some scars, have some adventure, find some love and all that jazz. And I will see you motherfuckers